4 Zen ways to protect yourself from psychological attacks and stopping. To stop internal harassment or psychological attacks, you want to identify your subconscious thoughts. All right. If we take the finger for the moon, then we're taking the wrong path, and it can lead us to a lot of disaster. All right. So the thing we want to ask ourselves is, what is our objective? Why are we getting up in the morning? What are we running after? What is our real objective? Somebody asked me this question years ago, and I said, okay, my objective, I know it really, really by heart. I want to be successful. I want recognition. I want money. I want this. I want that. Then I suddenly realized that I was so wrong. I was deadly wrong. Those were not my objectives. Success is not my objective. Okay, success is just a vehicle that can take me to a state of good feeling good.
And that's our real objective.
Yeah.
Our real objective behind everything we do is to feel good.
Yes.
And we shouldn't lose sight of that.
Yes.
Because sometimes we are so focused on success or on money or on a contract or whatever, that we don't get, that we lose sight of the good reality.
Yeah, the real reality is to feel good. It's not to have money. It's not to have a position. It's not to have recognition. And if we focus so much on that, you can end up in great disaster. There's a man who had money, who had success, who had all this, and yet he went on and committed a big error because he wanted recognition. He was running a company who was the second biggest in the world, the second biggest, in his industry,
sector.
In the sector, the second biggest, and he was making millions.
And the company was doing fine, had a war treasury.
Yes, really, really fine. And yet he was so obsessed about being the number one. He wanted to be recognized as the number one company that he committed unethical. He committed unethical conduct. He cheated, and he brought shame to the company. He brought shame to the country, and the stock just plunged when he was discovered that he was cheating. And right now, right this very moment, he's afraid of going to any restaurant because people will be pointing a finger at him. Thousands of people lost money because of his act.
And people lost their jobs too.
Yes.
Because of that.
Okay, because he took the finger for the moon. See.
He wanted so much recognition.
Yes.
To be number one. There's nothing wrong in wanting to be number one, but we shouldn't lose sight that if we want to feel good too. So he wanted to become number one, but he used wrong techniques that made him feel bad.
Yes. Look at Harvey Weinstein. He's a successful producer and everything, but he wanted power, domination, to feel good. So he ended up right now into getting harassment suits, litigation, and shame that's poured down on him in the press and so on. All right. So when I discovered that, hey, my objective is just to feel good, really, that's all it is. I created a company. It's called Me and Co. But you can create one too. It's called You and Co. All right. You create a company called You and Co. And now all the
all our subsidiaries,
yes.
Our family, our friends, our projects, our work, our leisures, our hobbies. You can add other subsidiaries if you want,
They can all make us feel good, all right?
And what we're going to do, we're going to go to the first subsidiary to make a chart and then write down the names of the people we are close to.
Yes, like here. Okay.
If we feel good with them, we put them in green. If we feel so-so, sometimes good, sometimes bad, we could put them in yellow. And if we don't feel good with them, we put them in red.
Yeah.
And we do that for each subsidiary we have.
Yeah.
For our work, for example, if it's doing fine, then we put it in green.
If you like playing tennis, okay, it's green. Okay.
If you like playing tennis, yeah.
So you see, if you got fired from your job or you're not feeling fine,
something happened in your job,
you won't affect the others because hey, it's only one subsidiary that's losing money. Okay, you can still feel good with the rest of the subsidiaries.
See, it's always we're focusing on ultimate reality, on the global reality, and not focusing on just one event.
All right.
So this chart, Me and Co, enables us to focus on all our life and see that there are positive points in our lives, even if something goes wrong in one subsidiary. And it permits us to keep our energy, to keep our time, and to overcome the problem.
In fact, it gives us a lot of stability. All the people who created You and Co, they reported a lot of stability. Most people who don't understand this concept, for instance, you see, if they got one or something would happen in their job or one of their parents passed away, see, it affects all the rest of them. Yeah. All the rest.
They don't feel like going out anymore, they don't feel like seeing their friends, they're not interested in anything anymore. So it affects all their subsidiaries.
And at just one glance, you know how stable You and Co is. And we can add on new subsidiaries, we can subtract them, and we can turn all red subsidiaries into green. We'll show you how in a few minutes. We can turn the red subsidiaries into green, okay? So next thing you want to do is just to do an audit on your tangible assets, your intangible assets.
So your tangible assets are all your material goods. You got a house, you got a computer, you got a Google, you got also past experiences. All these are tangible assets.
And if you have time and energy, you are rich. Let's say you lost everything, but you have time and you have energy, you are rich. Because time and energy is just like raw material. You can kind of transform it into great options to great opportunities. Right. So listen again one more time. If you lost everything tomorrow or today, you can use time and energy to rebuild.
To rebound.
Okay. To rebound.
Yeah.
And if you have affection, this is a very, very powerful asset. Give your kids a hug every day. Give them a good hug, morning and night. Give them a good hug. Give them an affection. They're going to be solid individuals in the end. You're going to help support them. You're going to help make them successful. Give your colleagues a hug. They need one too. So if you have affection, that's a very powerful asset. All right. And next, you want to go to take a look at the intangible assets.
Intangible assets are all our qualities. See, we can be confident, we can be perseverant, we can be disciplined, organized. All these are qualities, and we are going to write them in the intangible assets column.
And measure how strong.
And we're going to give ourselves a mark, a score. How strong is this quality in us on a scale of 1 to 10? If we got 7, 8, or 9, or 10, it's really good. We're strong.
Oh, you guys have a great score. You're all open. You attend because
Already.
you're attending this webinar. You know, you're seeking. You're open. So you have a very good score on your one of your intangible assets, being open.
Goodness.
Okay. If you have a weak discipline, for instance, put in rates. That's when you need to work on it. Okay. To raise up to the score level. And if you have a high scores over here, it's going to be responsible for increasing your assets here. Okay.
If you are perseverant, for example, it's going to lead you to more success. And more success is going to help you increase your material goods, your tangible assets. All is linked.
All right.
Then we're going to decide, each one of us, on the criteria necessary to be an excellent CEO.
A top CEO, yes.
So this is very personal. We decide ourselves. What are those criteria? What kind of CEO would I like to work with or for? And we write all these criteria. And once we have written all these criteria, we check if we have them in our intangible assets. And if we don't have them, because we decide that it's very important to have those assets to be a top CEO, we are going to write them down in our intangible assets, give ourselves a mark on 1 to 10. And then if we see that the mark is very low, it means that we got to work on it.
Yeah.
To attain our objectives.
Yeah, let's say if you don't have much patience, you know, well, you're going to work on being patient. And we have a concept to help you do that called Mastering Illusion, which you're coming to next. Okay? So all the people who has this chart, who has this view and core, they found them to be far more stable. They have a very strong foundation, and they know exactly that the ultimate objective is to feel good. So when you feel good, you know, and you're happy, people want to work with you. People want to know you. People want to do business with you.
Yeah. Do you want to work with somebody who has a bad face? I mean, a down face with not feeling good? No. We're attracted by people who feel good, who feel confident, who smile. We want to talk to them. We want to get close to them.
Patricia belongs to a networking circle, networking club, you know. And one of these guys came to our conference and started to create his own UN code. And now each time Patricia meets with him, this guy is always very cheerful. You know, he's so happy, and he keeps showing Patricia his UN code.
Yeah, because he did it. Then 1 month later, we revised it, and he went up. You know, his subsidiaries became green, and now he's really, really feeling good, and he's successful in his work too.
Yeah, because he's smiling all the time. He's happy. He knows his objective, right?
And people go and talk to him. People want to do business with him because he's a nice guy. I mean, he's fine, and he's competent, of course.
All right. Okay, I hope this is clear. Let's move on.
And just one last thing. We can be sincere in our quotations, you know, because
nobody's going to watch.
Nobody's going to watch this chart. It's only for us.
Okay, so see, at one glance, you'll be able to know how your company is running. All right. So don't forget, if you think career success is your objective, you can end up at the top and then in the burnout state. We've had seen executives at the top and totally burnout. Consultants totally burnout. Why? Because they think that they got to be successful. They got to reach a certain level, right? Instead of knowing that the real objective is to feel good.
Yeah, Me & Co is our well-being company.
Right. Okay. You can now protect yourself from psychological attacks to feel better instantly, maximize your potential, and be innerly confident forever.